In the last video, we talked about Buddhism as a religion. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about Buddhism as a philosophy. Now, what do you mean by philosophies? Philosophy generally defines the human lives and the truths. And what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? And in order to begin with philosophies, I like to go through the series of history, how the philosophy began in this world. In the ancient times, people generally believed whatever they were told by their teachers or elder, and they take it as a truth. So they just believe whatever they heard from their masters, because this is called traditionalism. And traditional begins with the cultures, and it has to be practiced through generations, and they take it as a truth. They don't think much. They just believe in whatever they were told. And the time comes, people began to doubt about traditionalism and ask the question whether this is true or false. And this is how the doubt begins in the mind. So philosophy begins with the doubts, not with traditionalism. And then try to find out whether this is true or false. And then philosophers began to think and reason out what is truth. This is how the rationalism's origins in this world. They try to rationalize the things and use with logics to find the truth. However, even with rationalisms, different philosophers come up with different answers. So they could not completely find the absolute truths. They wanted the certainty. However, they could not find the exact what they really wanted. So another philosophy came in this world that is called empiricism. Empiricism is a kind of philosophy that can emphasize the truth must be through the senses. This is how the science and technology origins in this world, because science is based on inference and observations, and whatever they perceive through the senses, through the five senses, they are referred to be as truths. However, they could not find the exact absolute truths. So they said, science says we could find only the probability truth, not the absolute truths. Rationalism wants absolute truths, whereas empiricism got only the probability truths. Then another philosophy came in this world that is called transcendentalism. Transcendentalism is a kind of philosophy that can be perceived through the extrasensory perceptions. So that means truth is not we perceive through the five senses, but absolute truth could be perceived through the extrasensory power, and especially the person who meditate and got the superpowers to analyze the absolute truths. However, another philosophy came in this world that is called linguistic philosophy or analytical philosophy. Linguistic philosophy said truth is not something that perceived through the extrasensory, but truth is a concept. It's whatever we have, meaningful or meaningless. It is a come up with the words. Truth must be come with the words that we can say something about the truth. If I said I saw a dinosaur, then I can say that this is true because I have seen it. If I haven't seen any dinosaurs, so I cannot say that this is I have seen the dinosaur really exists in this world. That means if I see something, this is a meaningful. If I don't see it, this is a meaningless. This is the linguistic philosophy or analytical philosophies. Then another philosophy came in this world. That is the pragmatisms. And they said the purpose of human life is not to discover the truth. The purpose of human life is to find the solution of the problems. If you find the solution to the problems, then we can say this is the basic of human life. And you know, this is what the Buddha found, the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truth is not the truth, it is the solution to the problems. There is suffering, the origin of suffering, the end of suffering, and the way, the cessation of sufferings. This is the solutions to the human life of the problems. So, pragmatisms generally define the solution to the problems and not only to discover the truths. And then again, in the 20th century, another philosophies came into being that is called existentialism. They said that all these philosophers are trying to find the unnecessary thing in this world. The basic thing the human being want to find the solutions is the problem of existence. That means human beings know that they are existing in this world, and they also know that someday they are going to die. If we find a solution to these problems, then all the problems can be cured and can be solved. And this is the main basic thing we want, the problem of existence. And many try to find out, and one of the philosophers and one of the existentialists name called Soren Kierkegaard, he tried to find out, and he criticized the Christianity also, because say it is illogical or irrational to just follow the blindly. So he said that ultimately the way to find the exist problems and the solutions to be discovered through the taking the leap of faith. That means let the God solve these problems. The human being couldn't. And there is another existentialist who couldn't agree with it, and they many type of solution they could try to find out, and they find that the human beings must grow and evolve and understand the way to find this solution to these problems. And you know, this is where the Western philosophy stops, because this is the basic thing they wanted but they couldn't find it. And where this is where the Buddha came in to find a solution to these problems. And Buddha said that This is the thing human beings know, that they are existing in this world, and they also know that someday they are going to die. The only thing we have to know that existence, what we call the term existence, itself is a delusion. When I say that I exist in this world, that means it is the kinds of emotional attachments. And these emotionals generally defined as a tanha in Pali, a craving. And there were three types of cravings: craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for non-existence. And the second is the craving for existence, is the types of delusions. A person who is born in this world cannot be the person who became adult in he got married. And the person who got married cannot be the person who became old and became sick. This is the types of changing all the times. Life is a process of change. It's not an entity, but activity. Life is a process of activities. We are always changing in this world. And this is why what we call the existence is a way or types of delusions that entangle in our minds. Because of ignorance, because of delusion, we say that we are existing in this world. We struggle to exist, but in reality, we don't exist. This is just the emotional feelings telling us that you are living, you are existing in this world. But the fact is that you are changing every minute, every hour, or day, or week, or month, where not only your physical body is changing, but also mental attitude also. Every time is changing. So we can't say that we are totally exist in this world. This is just a craving telling us you are living in this world. So tell the truth, we got to know that what we call the truth, the Buddha said in one of the suttas, in the Sutta Nipata, he said, Ekang hi sacha nadutiya mata. That means, if there is only one truth, no two truths, there will be no conflict in this world. So, if there are only one truth and no many truths, there will be harmony and no conflict. Because the world is conflict, because people are having different types of views, different types of truths. And holding this truth and view, they try to argue, they try to have conflict with others. So this is the thing. But it doesn't mean that Buddha said that there's only one truth. He said that if there's only one truth, it could not be have a conflict or disturb in this world. And again he said that there is no truth other than perceptions. That means there's no truth. There's only perceptions is there in this world. Whatever we perceive through the five senses, then we think it as a truth. And based on this perception, human beings use logics and say two things in this world. Based on this perception, they usually use logics and say that there is true and there is false based on their perception. But there is no truth. So the Four Noble Truth is not the truth that Buddha said. It is just the solution to the problems. And Buddha said that just like a raft, like a kind of ship, to cross the river. After you cross the river, you don't have to hold it or carry it along with you. Just you leave it at the bank of the river. This is the similarly when you learn the Dhamma, when you understand the truth, you don't have to hold it after you attain the salvation, Nirvana. It is only to cross from samsara to Nirvana. This is what he said. That means this is the truth to use in this world to cross the samsara. And after you cross in this world and your job is done, you don't have to carry along the truths. This is what the mean by the truth, this by the Buddha. So that means it doesn't mean that Buddhism have the absolute truths. It is a samadhi is only a view, good view, not the true view, good view to cross the samsara in this world. So I hope you understood what I mean and have a good luck.